Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an author, speaker, and proud father. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. You have to really get to know a man to see his strength. You got to really get to know him. Because, ladies, look, I understand y'all nature. Y'all check out that guy, like, right away. We know it. 3 seconds. 3 seconds. Maybe even more. And ladies, don't act like y'all don't do that. Women have told me that. Women have said that on national TV. Because y'all make a quick scan of a man. Because y'all always looking and everything. And, if a man got his surface act together, like, he got his, he got his physicality together. He got his grooming right. He got his drip right. And for the older ladies on there, that's what the younger people call, like, their style and everything. And, he walking confident. Okay, that's cool. But that's just on, and that man who got all that together, he probably had that legitimate. He probably legitimate confident and everything. But it's not as obvious with everybody. It's not as obvious. The men who might have that strength, it might be a situation where you're not going to really see it until there's some trouble, right? Now, people who follow me know I talk about the house of the man. And I talk of one pillar of the house of the man is the warrior, right? Well, here's the funny thing with the warrior. The warrior is that guy who defends you, who fights the noble fight, and he will fight the noble battles and stuff. Here's the thing. You may not see that in a man until it's an emergency. You might not see that aspect of him until it's an emergency. You might have a man who's like quiet, soft-spoken. He might not be like that super muscular dude or got that fly clothing. He might be very plain, very to himself, soft-spoken, all of that. But you don't see what he's about until there's some trouble. When he see the fire and, everybody's running from the fire, he's running towards the fire, right? Like, I use myself for an example. There's a lot. One problem I've had in life is outside of this, I'm usually kind of a quiet, laid-back person, real calm. And I've had several people who found out the hard way that, oh no, I can go from 0 to 100 with my temper and then back down to 0 easily. Like when I was in college, right? There was I was in this dorm. I always had these kids. They do some little subtle stuff to me, right? Like some little subtle stuff, try to make some little jokes. Like I was a black kid, I was a black man and and I was with all these white guys and they say some little subtle stuff. I just say, Until one day I snapped on one of them. And I actually had that same person. Was like, bro, please don't beat me up. He was literally crying. And I was like, shit, And you got a lot of people like that. You're not going to you're not going to see it until an emergency. Now, remember in my last one, I talked about chasing that fantasy. A lot of women get caught up in that guy who look like he's tough. But then as soon as something happened, nothing. Let me give you another story with that. I remember I was working in a gym, right? And there was a situation when somebody had a customer, because the gym was connected to this hotel, and one of the customers had said, lightly threatened one of our workers, just lightly, right? And the rest of the male workers came in there hard, including her husband came and stayed with her the whole day. And he was ready to fuck something up. He was ready to kick some ass. This dude was military. He's ready to kick somebody's ass, right? Now, I remember the rest of us, we were still on call because this particular customer was still at the hotel. Now, I remember we had this one guy who tried to come off like he was a thug, and he had tats before they were popular and everything. And he was talking about, he do this and that. But I remember that particular unruly customer came in the thing. And he took a look at most of us. And he was like, nah, he ain't gonna do anything. But I remember the response of this one guy who came off as tough, had the tats and everything. He was kind of acting like a punk around his customer. The rest of us, we kind of subtly let him know what was up, But this one guy, he didn't do anything. In fact, he was trying to hide from it. And I noticed he did that a couple other times when he was supposed to be this tough guy, but he didn't step up the way he should have in certain situations, right? I'll just say there were situations police could have been involved. I'll leave it at that, right? But somebody seeing him on the surface, they would mess up. They would think, oh, he this tough guy. He really wasn't, all right? And see, that's the thing. If you want to know, because ladies, we know you want a strong man. You want that tough man. You don't. Yeah, we know you like that party guy, the fun guy, the sexy guy, and all of that. But then you also want that man who can handle some real life stuff. You're not going to always know that right away. You really have to get to know that man. And see, the point is, yeah, ladies, I understand. Yeah, I make that quick thing. But when you have a chance, get to know that man. You meet a guy, like if a guy approaches you, right? Let's say a guy approaches you. As long as he's polite, and he might say, hey, would you like to have some coffee or something? If you have the time, go for it. Find out. Talk to him. If you have the time, As long as, and ladies, I know y'all got a minimum threshold. He might not look like an alpha showpiece, but it's reasonable that if he is clean and he's polite, you can give him a shot. I'm saying, because let's be real, most guys out here are going to at least clean themselves up, right? And then it's reasonable. You look at him and say, okay, he's dressed well, at least decently. He's carrying himself in a mature manner. He's carrying himself like he might be sovereign at least. Get to know him, find out. And you know what? And this ain't just something like some theory or something. I've talked to many women, and they've told me how, they'll meet some guy, and he was just eyed at first. But then they got to know him and found out some more. And get to know him, talk to him, See, check his reactions. How is he, if you hanging out with him, y'all walking down the street, is he walking to the outside? Is he leading and everything? Pay attention to it, You don't have to argue with him about, who's going to pay the bill or something. Because I'll say this, even for the fellas listening. If you ask a woman now, just pay. Don't even think about it. I don't even look at the woman. It was like, in fact, I remember, I remember one time a woman was out with a woman. This was recent, too. This was recent. Well, about around less than a year ago, right? And I said to her, she was ready to grab the thing and everything. I was like, oh, hell no. I told you I get this. I ain't wait. See that man who just take charge of the situation, I mean, whatever, how he walking, how he leading and everything. Get to know him. You got to really get to know him to see his strength. Okay, ladies? So, anyway, I want y'all to think on that. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.